Hey guys, how's it going? I'm kind of testing out my game right now, and I wanted to kind of show you guys something. Oh, it looks kind of cool to me. So I was testing out these hoppers right here. They basically pick up parts and then deposit them, and I just got them going in a little loop right now. Actually, let me turn this on. But the basic idea is that you'll be able to like combine these in factories and they'll load. They actually load into this container right here, this orange thing. It's kind of hidden behind this architecture, but I was just kind of testing out, like, what would a factory look like in my game? This is kind of a little bit part of it. And then I added this robot arm here. Let me rotate it around so you can see. It's kind of cool. I added a gripper and a welder to it too. Actually, I don't think it was called gripper, but so we'll see if I could try to pick up some parts maybe. Let's give it a shot. See, eye decay. It's a little bit hard to control right now because I haven't programmed in a like a smart computer system for this, but it will get better. It'll be easier to control, and you'll be able to like record movements and stuff, so you can like make your own robots that pick up parts for you. This is a very nerdy thing to do, by the way. Now, I think the batteries are big enough we can pick them up, but we can kind of align ourselves with these blue chips that are coming out. Oh, batteries making it through. Now the hoppers, they do organize things so that they pick up the parts that are good for them. Or, well, I mean, they put it like in an order, that's what I meant to say. So you're going to get every single part of a similar kind come out first, and then you're going to get whatever's left. Now if I added a second robot arm here, I'd actually be able to have this one maneuver stuff into place, and then the other one would be able to weld it. They've been learning this. Alright, missed that one. Go a little bit further forward. Nope, still not hitting it. There we go. Alright, that allowed us to pick it up. Kind of jamming out the line, so just gonna back up. Where should we put this thing? Why don't we try putting it up here? I think that'd be kind of funny. Yeah, this right here is the actual computer that controls everything. So the way it works is this computer sends signals to these chips, which talk to these servo motors. There's like a battery. This thing powers this whole thing. Yeah. Let's see if we can release it without issue. There we go. Now to pick things up, it technically welds them, but it's not actually. Or we do have a weld gun that will allow us to weld things together. So if you want to actually like assemble something, use the weld gun. Just rotate it so it's in spot. This is the weld gun right here on the bottom. Oof, we're even gonna be able to fit in here. It's tight. I think we should be able to make it. So yeah, just like imagine the factory lines you could build with this thing. I'm already starting to get quite the collection of parts. Most of these they just use for like rovers and stuff, but there's other things they use them for. Alright, battery. I want to try to weld a battery to the actual floor. Didn't quite work. I don't think we're close enough. There we go. So I just welded that battery to the ground, and I was gonna jam the hopper, so I'm gonna unweld it. But yeah, it's kind of one of the cooler things you could do. Let me I'll pick up a battery, try to put it somewhere a little bit safer, and then we'll weld it. I think I'm gonna drop it out to like. Yeah, I need to like work on like a UI menu to help you control robot arms, but it kind of works. Alright, so I'll pick it up. This is probably gonna be a longer video. I was just gonna do the robot arm, but now I think I want to mess around with a few other things too. Really showcase what the world's about. Maybe right there. Yep. I think this thing needs more axes. 6-axis would really be helpful right now. See, how did we do this last time? There we go. I think we'll also do like a little quadcopter demonstration too. Haha, yeah. Boom. Nah, you won't be able to pick that up unless I unweld it. Then I can pick it up. I love this little arm. It's kind of a cool arm. Let me stretch him out. Okay. I'm gonna load in the entire world now. So I have the world disabled, but I've been making some pretty interesting things. So I redid like all biome generation and added the ocean. Let me see. Oh, I got rid of all my vehicles. Forgot about that. Yeah, let me show. I think we'll build a quadcopter right now. So, let's see, quadcopters, they work okay in my game. A little bit hard to fly, I will admit, but they do work. So, and they're not too hard to build. Use these propellers. The thicker side means down, thinner side means up. These are technically thrusters. There's no atmosphere in my game, so everything relies on just like actual thrust. There's no like atmospheric drag. I think I prefer it that way, because that way, I mean, there's some nice things about atmospheric drag, but this will allow you to what's the word I'm looking for? Like float on without like any momentum issues. So I think we need a adder too. So these are some logic chips. You wire them together and you can kind of program machines a little bit. But we also need a stabilizer and a servo. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a bigger stabilizer. I think last time we tried this with a smaller stabilizer, didn't quite work how we wanted it to. I think the stabilizers there are a little bit bugged out though, so gotta be careful. And then you can paint things. So you can paint it crimson, maybe. Give it black propellers. And we'll give it blue chips. Okay. So let's program. I'll show you how to program them real quick. First thing you should probably do, just hook everything up to power. Now this thing controls. I think I have some of these controls a little bit backwards, but this thing controls like our orientation. So very important. Let me hook that up to power. This thing is a stabilizer. Okay. Yep. This thing will control our throttle. So I generally like to do left shift and control. It's a little bit tricky. Because I think control and S save, so I can't throttle and pitch down at the same time. That's whatever though. We'll send that data signal out to this diffuser, who will then send it to our thrusters. We need a power. So is that thrust? I think I'm gonna like add descriptions and stuff just to kind of help you figure things out. 'Cause that's one thing I noticed like watching other people play the game is they just have no idea. Am I even recording? Yes, I am. Okay. Thrust, power. Good. Then this diffuser, we're not using it yet, so I'm gonna hook it up to the toggle. So when I press the space button, it'll turn on all my thrusters. And then let me make sure I hooked that up. Space to that diffuser. We'll do T to turn on the stabilizer. It's kind of how it worked in the Kerbal Space Program. So, and then I think we'll do output 5, turn on the gyro. Alright, let's see if we can fly this thing. Or we'll turn off physics. So physics resumes now. Alright. Everything looks like it's on. Thrusters turned off. Why is that? Toggle. Oh, turn it off. Must have not programmed that right. So you can see the throttle. Yeah, I'm actually going to go back to the inventor. Show you a few more cool things we have. Turn on physics real quick. Let's put a few more things on here. I want to be able to monitor my battery life, my health, and my velocity. Okay. I think we forgot to turn off physics. There we go. So, turn on. Turn on. Now, their thrust should be low enough that we don't actually go anywhere. For now. I'm also going to get our velocity and battery status menus up. So, on the adder you can see our thrust. Look how you can drag these menus around. Very nice and convenient, right? Alright. And looks like we have the controls set up correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and increase our throttle. See if we can take off. bit heavy. Whoa. I think I got roll and pitch, or I got one of these confused with the other. So we're just kind of leaving the base right now. And where should we go? Do we run out of power? I lost control. Oh, that was weird. Alright. Our gyros not working correctly. Also added rivers and lakes, as you can see. Or technically this is like an ocean. Alright, let's try fly out here. It's just a shallow ocean at the moment, but... Oh, there's a floating rock. I've been trying to add, like, ground stuff, you know? What, gyros out again? I don't know why, but the gyro keeps turning off. Must not have programmed it right, or... I don't know, probably doesn't have a battery or something. Or it's probably being overridden by the stabilizer, actually. There's still some bugs that need to be worked out, but we're making good progress. I mean, if you look at, like, the earlier versions of this game, how far we've come, you know, definitely going in the right direction. Now, I limited the effective airspeed of these thrusters to like about 100 meters per second. And the reason I did that, so you can't like just spam. God, why does you keep turning off? I know you're powered. Oh my god, so many bugs need to be fixed. That's the thing about a game of this complexity is it's got its fair share of bugs. But I'll improve it over time. Alright, stabilizer's off. Hook up like one of these buttons to turn off the stabilizer by accident. I don't think I did it. Alright, let's levitate out of here. And it's off again. Yeah, whatever. Let's go make a car instead. How's 5X doing? Looks like the conveyor's right now of charge. That's my guess. Yeah, let's build a car. What should we build it out of? Batteries. Do double tall. Movement. I have these new spoke wheels, which are kind of cool. They're kind of designed to be like faster and lighter, but at the expense of health. So, yeah. Then, what do we got? We got an energy thing here. Power distributor. This will kind of like equalize our power, which is nice because you need like to control your battery management here. Like a Kerbal Space Program, you don't have to, but here you have to. You have to like actually do a little bit of electrical work. It's not too much, you know. It's simple enough to do, but we'll do a vehicle controller. Then I think we need these absolutors when we use this guy. It's a little bit funny. When you play the game, you start to learn everything, but it probably doesn't sound crazy or doesn't make any sense when you don't play the game. So we'll hook that up. that basically separates the signal out into either a positive or a negative. Or I think that already happens here. But basically, the absolute will determine, was this like a positive incoming signal or a negative incoming signal? And that allows you to kind of split signals. I just realized we need some diffusers. Lots of diffusers. You'll be building diffusers. This could be like a whole factory element to this game. So we'll use these for speed control. Excellent. Then speed. Get the battery up real quick. This distributor. Put charge in these guys. And then one thing we need to do is turn them on. So set the toggle. There we go. So that controls the velocity for those ones. Then these guys, three, four, 1 and 2. It's differential steering. Battery. Great. And we'll power the computer. Power the distributor. Then need a way to turn everything on. We'll do space for that. It looks like it's starting to get a little bit dark in the game. I forget if I turned the day-night cycle off. Oh yeah, I did. Let me add a light real quick. It's about to get dark. I'm still working on day-night cycle, so it's not quite there yet. Aesthetic. What should be the controls for light? Do B maybe? Lights don't need to be powered, I decided. Because I always want the player to be able to see the game, you know, so. Alright, I think that'll work. Yeah, control that. We programmed it backwards. That's okay, we'll just try it backwards. I redid like all the wheel logic to prevent flipping around as much. It's kind of a bad example, but normally when you'd be pulling these maneuvers, you'd be like all over the place, but I redid like a ton of the wheel logic because I needed to improve the performance. There was a lot of performance issues with the wheels. So you're going to be having like dozens of these vehicles going around at any given time, and they might go to like a factory or something kind of complicated, you know, so they need to be very performant, and they need to stop at the right time and be reliable and not flip over when you're driving on like flat ground. It's actually a pretty interesting problem. Also because wheels can be mounted in any configuration. So how do you make sure they turn the right direction? Like, I think if they turn the right way. Yeah, look. See? They turn the right way. These ones too, right? Yeah. Getting dark now. So they turn the right way. And you can do differential steering with them. And it's actually a really interesting problem. Spent a lot of time on it. But it's all solved now. So let's go take a dive into the water. Yeah, it gets very dark in the game. That's for a reason. I like it spooky. Forgot there's still beach here. See if we can get out real quick. And you go in the water, slows you down a lot. Yeah. Now, if you want to play my game, you can find like an old release a while ago. I am planning to add a new one pretty soon, maybe even by the end of this weekend. There's a lot of bugs though, so it's kind of dissuading me from not doing it quite yet. But if you're okay with bugs, then it's fine. So, some water here. A little bit of a lake. Boats, trains, more factory parts, better saving loading system are all next. So, I could definitely see, like, you know, this game has a pretty solid foundation, like at least conceptually, I think. It's got decent implementation, and it'll get better over time. So, like, I don't know, really I've only been working on this for, I mean, probably the earliest you could ever say I, like, actually been working on this, like, around February, maybe. But serious work probably started around May to April. So what was it, like 4 or 5 months now? I haven't worked on a lot too much lately. Just been busy with work and all. But do plan to work on it more when I have the chance. And how shallow is this pond? There's like a lot of like shallow areas, and there's like a lot of areas that's like maybe like 10 meters deep or something. Looks like there's a rock right here. Let's go explore the rock. I think the Unity water system looks really nice. Really impressed with it. It's decently performant too. I mean, definitely dropped my games like FPS by like 20 or 30 frames per second, but yeah, look at that. And the deeper you go in the water, it'll get colder and kill you, so you gotta be careful there. Man, you're really sluggish in the water. Might change that. I think also like your density kind of affects like how sluggish you are in the water. So if you're very lightweight, the water like resists you a lot. If you're very heavy, it's not going to. So out of the water. Go over a hill, probably go back into the water. Or probably flip over into a state of non-recovery. Yep. And we're stranded. I'll end it here. Video's getting a little bit long. Thanks for watching, guys.